At last, she is back. That is Cardi B. Brand new music from Cardi B featuring Janet Jackson. This song is called Principle. It is off Cardi's highly anticipated second album. It's called Am I the Drama? It is out now. It has been 7 years since Cardi B shook the internet with that debut album. Can she do it again? Does she even need to? I'm Elamin Abdelmahmoud, and this is Commotion. Pablo the Don is here. Kelsey Adams is here, and they have thoughts on this. Hello to both of you.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh my God, it's going to get so rowdy in here. If you guys don't mind, actually, I think the only way to start off the show is to remind people just how big Cardi was when this happened.
You can f with me if you wanted to. These expensive, these is red bottoms, these is bloody shoes. Hit the school, I can get them both. I don't want to choose, and I'm quick.
The problem with that song is once it starts, you just gotta do it all the way to the end, and I'm not gonna do that right now. That is Bodak Yellow. That is a major label debut from Cardi B. When that came out, very quickly became the song of the summer in 2017. Pablo, where does her trajectory go from there? Because 2017, I don't know if you've noticed, it's been a minute.
It has been. I mean, Cardi kind of took the lightning rod that Bodak Yellow was and rode it all the way to the highest highs of success. After Bodak Yellow comes out, she continues to be a viral sensation online. She does one more season of Love and Hip Hop, which brought her some of her initial fame along with her Vine following. Yeah. And then she really dives into the fashion game as well and just stays this like ever-present person in the media. And then in 2018, she drops Invasion of Privacy, which ends up being this another lightning rod moment in her career, and she ends up winning a Grammy for it, becoming the first woman to win a Grammy for Rap Album of the Year since Lauryn Hill in 1998. And then Cardi continues to ride the wave of success with hit after hit. In 2020, when we're all locked inside, she drops WAP with Megan Thee Stallion and completely breaks the internet, and then has multiple viral dances on TikTok. Cardi B just somehow, some way manages to stay in our faces all the time, whether it's music, her personal life drama, or the fashion look she's turning out.
I'll confess that, when we were sort of assembling the story and I saw that he said the second album from Cardi, I was like, well, that can't be true because the first album was so long ago. And she's just so good at being ever present. She's been present. I really have not missed Cardi B. She's had songs all the time, whether it's features or, just her own Lucy's here and there. Talk to me a little bit, Kelsey, about this idea of Cardi presenting this story of an underdog, story of like someone's like, I'm going to win you over if it's the last thing I do.
Honestly, she's just embodied that from the very beginning. I remember when Bodak Yellow came out and the number of people I heard saying like, oh, she's going to be a one-hit wonder. Yeah. This is like a blip in hip hop. Like she was obviously, like Pablo mentioned, on Love and Hip Hop, and then maybe she's just going to fizzle out. I knew though, in that moment, the first time I heard it, I was like, no, she's here to stay. Yeah. And I think because a lot of people sort of like underestimated her when Invasion of Privacy came out, and it's like packed with hits from like wall to wall. Yeah. People were shocked, but then they also had to sort of grapple with the fact that like, no, this is somebody who's currently cementing their status as like a fixture in hip hop. Like this is not just a blip. This is not just a moment.
Yeah, I've always kind of been like wedded to the idea of like albums are how you cement your status, And so it was like, this was like a bit of a reality check for me. The idea that like album comes out, Invasion of Privacy comes out in 2018. We've not had a second Cardi B album until now, and then we finally do. Pablo, upon first, second, third, I don't know how many listens you've had a chance, since it came out on Friday. Walk me through it. How are you feeling about this Cardi B album?
I mean, like you said, albums are meant to cement people's legacies, and I think she did it again. I think, again, it was this idea that she's the underdog. It's been 7 years. Can she recreate the success? Can she be at the top of people's minds? What's her rollout going to look like? And then the album drops and it's like, oh my God, she's more than capable of continuing to do this. Like she is not participating in the sophomore slump. She is here and she knows how to put together a record that gets people moving, thinking, and just like wanting to be in her business, frankly.
Kelsey, what about you? What's your reaction?
So, I mean, I've listened to it a few times. It's fun. It's boisterous. It's exactly what we expect from Cardi. Yeah. I have to say what I love the most are the moments where she gets really, really vulnerable and sort of dissolves a bit of the bravado that we know her for. we've really seen, it's been incredibly public, the dissolution of her marriage with Offset.
Yeah.
There was cheating scandal after cheating scandal. And then there's a 3-song run on the album that starts with Man of Your Word and then goes into What's Going On featuring Lizzo, and then Shower Tears featuring Summer Walker. And those 3 songs for me are like her at her most vulnerable. And I love that she sort of decided to just show us like the real pain she was experiencing rather than just being like, yeah, like I'm a bad bee, but I have feelings too. And that's what I love to see from artists. I think it shows growth in her lyricism. But I will say the album as a whole for me feels a bit bogged down by a lot of filler tracks.
Yeah.
It's 10 songs longer than Invasion of Privacy, and I don't know if it needed an extra 10 songs.
Yeah.
It definitely would have benefited from a more thorough edit, but a lot of albums nowadays need
It also,
that.
including WAP, which is a song that came out literally years ago at this point. Like, literal children have been conceived. Her own children have been conceived and born and, like, are now talking since that song came out. Like,
exactly.
Did we need that song on this album? I'm not really sure. It's the last song on the album. Like, okay, all right.
Just throw it in there.
We've had enough time, I think, with the song. Pablo, I got to say that I go to Cardi, I think, for the bravado. I think she's really good at that bravado. It's really fun to listen to. It's really confrontational. But then there's this other gear that Kelsey's talking about, this sort of vulnerability that we're talking about. And a song that sort of like combines, I think, both of those things is the song that you picked. This is the song that we started off this whole conversation with, which is the song featuring Janet Jackson. You were really looking forward to that collaboration. What did you like about it?
I mean, I feel as though when I saw the features that were coming out, I was like, how is Janet fitting into this? What does it mean to have Janet Jackson on your album in 2025? Just means a lot. So to know that Cardi B wasn't trying to bring a new version of Janet or anything like that, she really just wanted to take a classic Janet hit, The Pleasure Principle, and sample it and flip it into, like you said, this mix of the bravado, but also a little bit of vulnerability about her relationship was amazing. I think it was exactly what I was looking for. I didn't necessarily want new Janet because I didn't know what we would get. But pulling from old Janet is exactly what I wanted from Cardi on this one. And I'm really happy with how this turned out. And it is one of my favorite songs on the project.
An interesting set of features on this record also. Like, a couple of Summer Walker joints, but also a Selena Gomez joint on this album. I'm here for it.
It's cute.
I'm vibing. When I got to that song, I was like,
she sounded.
I was going to say, I was a little worried about what this might sound like, and I was incredibly pleased by this. Kelsey, you wanted to talk a little bit about the rollout for this new album. Talk to me about, how do you feel about it?
I was living for the rollout.
Okay, tell me.
So basically, Cardi committed to this bit that her label, Atlantic Records, gave her no budget to promo this album. Her career was at stake. She needed to sell this album. And so there were clips coming out on the internet of her hawking the vinyls and the CDs on the streets of New York. It was giving 90s hip hop era, begging people on the New York City subway to buy the album, videos with her daughter. I just think she's genuinely so funny and knows how to appeal to the everyday person and just doesn't take herself seriously. And it got me excited for the album. I wasn't honestly checking for it. I completely forgot it was coming out. And then in the past few weeks, these videos have been rolling through my TikTok and my Instagram feeds. And I was like, I'm obsessed.
Cardi loves a camera in ways that very few artists right now do, and she is so funny in ways that I don't think we give her credit
timing.
For. She's brilliant. She's so funny at that. We have one of those clips. Let's roll. This is Cardi B on the subway hawking her album.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. I'm out here trying to sell these CDs. I'm trying to change my life around. I used to be a professional ballerina, but trying to make a better example for my kids. If you could please buy my new album, Am I the Drama? $9.99.
I actually can't even tell if the people, it's slowly dawning on them. I was like, oh my God, it really is Cardi B on the subway with me, directly in front of me. Pablo, what'd you make of this rollout?
I like Kelsey, I was not looking for this album until actually she was on trial for her civil suit where someone sued her for $24 million in damages from an incident that came in 2018 while she was pregnant. Those memes from the trial made me be like, let me pay attention. Also the wigs, because the wigs were fabulous, made me be like, let me pay attention to what she's doing. And then quickly after, she's capitalizing on this virality by making more viral moments. I'm wondering, was her pop-up on Canal and Delancey Street? I needed to know where was she hawking these albums? But I think the really cool part about the rollout that I can connect now that I've listened is it does feel like a big homage to like 90s era hip hop. I mean, there's references to Trina on this thing. There's references to, of course, Jay-Z. There's references to Four Non-Blondes on this thing. Like, it is chock full of like inspiration that I feel like Cardi grew up on, and the rollout connected to that. And that's the kind of world building I think artists have to be diving into these days.
Just on the trial thing, look, you got to be really careful when you start talking about like an ongoing trial featuring a pop star and somebody suing them for something. But Cardi B managed to make her appearances on the stand to be like a comedy set every time. And it takes extraordinary talent. She's the one on trial. Like she's the person who's like being accused of something here. And every time the lawyer would ask her, be like, hey, you changed your hair. And she was like, it's a wig. And then she would just like make this face. And you go, put her in a comedy opposite Kevin Hart immediately. Like, can someone get her into a movie right now? Okay, let's hear another song off the album. This is the one featuring Kalani. It's called Safe.
I don't need a rich, just somebody that can make me feel safe. Yeah, look, I dealt with a couple, but nobody ever made me feel safe like you. Facts. Cause when I'm with you, I just know I'm fine. Know I'm fine. You take all the pressure.
That is a bit of a song called Safe off Cardi's sophomore album, Am I the Drama? Kelsey, there was a time where if you're a pop star and you take 7 years between albums, that's career suicide. That's bad for the brand. That's not a good thing for you to do. Does this album feel to you as like, you know what, it's kind of like coming right on time? Or does it feel like it's coming a little bit late? Or are we in a world where like that timing doesn't really even matter that much right now?
Okay, I have a bit of a long-winded one.
Ready.
To answer that. But like Pablo mentioned off the top, in between these albums, Cardi was throwing out hit after hit after hit.
Yeah.
And she became known as like a hit maker. But I do think there's something in the soul of every artist where they want to release a body of work and not just standalone singles.
Yes.
So, and she's been teasing this record for years, which means she's most likely also been working on it for years. But I do believe like I Am the Drama has a lack of narrative cohesion. And I think that comes from the fact that she was working on it for 7 years. That's a long time culturally. That's a long time in a person's life.
Yeah.
There's been many iterations of Cardi B in the 7 years, and it seems like they've tried to pull all of them together, and it's not exactly working. Like you mentioned, WAP's on this record. That single, 5 years old, was a watershed moment in 2020.
In 2020, yeah.
We've moved on from that.
Yeah.
I do think also a song like that being added is more like, we're in a streaming era. It's bolstering the streams on the album.
Yeah.
And that's more indicative of where the industry is. Like, that's reflective of pop music, hip hop. And I'm not even going to fault her for doing that. Like, it's kind of like that's what the industry is prioritizing. And if I Am the Drama gives her 3 new hit singles, I think it succeeds in doing what it was meant to do.
Yeah, I don't think Cardi's an artist who's like sort of like is losing a lot of sleep over the status of the album in modern culture. It's just, I make hits, they go out the kitchen, and then people have a good time as they listen to them. Pablo, same question to you. We got about like 30 seconds left here. Does it really matter how much time there was between these 2 records?
No, because I think Cardi B is just that one person where it's like she was so ever present that there was going to be motion behind the album. People were going to pay attention just because she's just always in our faces. And I don't think for her it matters. Everyone else cannot. It's like Beyonce. You can't put yourself to the same standards. You just aren't them. Yeah. So relax on that. But I think
the rest
Cardi,
of you make albums,
fine.
but Cardi's going to be okay.
Make albums. Cardi B can be okay. Why? Because she's funny, because she's relatable, because she's going to be viral all the time. She just knows how to do it. So tread carefully, everybody else.
I'm taking notes. I feel a little bit insulted. You know what I mean? Like, Elamin, you got to make an album. You got to make a body of work. Cardi B,
every 2 years.
She's okay. She's
good.
Totally fine. Yeah. I appreciate your time, you guys. You guys are the best. This has been wonderful. Thank you again.
It's been so fun.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, of course. Pablo the Don is a culture critic and part of Those Wrestling Girls podcast. They were in Springfield, Massachusetts. Kelsey Adams is associate producer at CBC Music based in Toronto. And that album, Cardi B's second album, Am I the Drama, is out everywhere now.